Hi, this is Sean Palmer with the Palmer Law Firm, and in this video I'd like to talk about how the COVID-19 social distancing and the stay-at-home orders that come along with that are impacting the family law caseload that's happening in Harris and Galveston County. Now those are the two counties that my firm practices primarily in, and so that's where my focus is. Now I expect what I'm about to say is true for a lot of other counties, but you'll have to check with your own counties that are going on. So with the stay-at-home orders, obviously we're not going to school, we're not going to work, and our families are all together now, and unfortunately we have tens of thousands of families in the state of Texas alone that are currently going through family law court, and so it must be a particularly grueling time for people who are already experiencing conflict within the family and they're not getting any relief from the courts. And as we are about to enter our third week now, this recording is being made on March 29th. At that time, the courts have ground to a halt as everything else has. No hearings are going on. And the stay-at-home orders have made it so that people cannot go out and go to court and have hearings and things of that nature. But I want to give an update for people who are either you have an attorney and you're not hearing from that attorney about what's going on, or for the thousands and thousands of cases of people who are doing their family law case or attempting to do their family law case pro se. They don't know what's going on, so I hope this is helpful to you. So the first thing I would like to say is that seems to be a key word that's coming out for a lot of these orders, and that is essential activities. We saw that in the stay-at-home orders that were generated both for Galveston and Harris County, that there were certain essential activities that were exempt from the general rule, which is to stay home, shelter in place, and in another video I talked about what those essential activities were, and in terms of what the orders were from the county levels, and the same terminology is being used in the courts. So to know what's going on in your case and how quickly you're going to get relief from the court, we have to consider what the courts are considering essential cases. So to begin, I would point out this is a letter or a memo from the Office of Court Administration, who run all of Texas's courts. This is David Slayton. And David Slayton basically says that lawyer activities are essential, and so attorneys and their staff are exempt from under stay-at-home orders. Travel authorizations are permitted for lawyers and their staff. So, and I'll just read a short part of this here. It says, lawyers must be permitted to practice law free from local stay-at-home orders and other restrictions on travel and business practices. Lawyers and staff may travel and engage in activities reasonably necessary to provide legal services as is permitted for other essential services. So if you're pro se, that might not be the best news for you. You have to have an attorney, or rather I'm saying only attorneys are able to be exempt from the stay-at-home order. But let's also look at what's going on, and we're going to start with Harris County and then I'll move on to Galveston County, about what you can get or what you can't get currently in the courts. So I will begin with, this is a letter from Julia Maldonado, and it's a joint statement regarding health and safety concerns regarding the family courts. So the memo basically says that if you're a lawyer or a litigant and you're sick, stay at home. So don't try to go to courts if you're sick. And then Julia Maldonado and the rest of the judges establish what is an essential court matter. If it's an essential court matter, then you would get a hearing. But all in-person hearings and trials are discontinued. The hearing would be some other kind of means. So unless a case is designated as an essential court matter, all in-person hearings and trials will be continued or delayed until further notice. No specific date on when they'll continue again. Of course, we don't know. So in Harris County, if it's a family law matter, it's an essential family law matter if it includes one of the following. If it is a protective order case involving family violence, if it is a habeas corpus or writ of attachment for a child, if it is a CPS case, if it involves judicial bypass, if it involves a contempt case where a respondent is currently in custody, if it involves jurisdictional deadlines, and any other case that the court later on decides is essential. But other than that, all hearings have been stopped in Harris County, and we are monitoring the individual courts within Harris County to see what their specific policies are on that. And there is some indication that all the courts in Galveston probably will follow suit, but mostly we're seeing things from the Harris County courts saying that they're going to be continuing the courts through either telephone conferences or through Zoom, Skype, or other video teleconferencing things. They're trying to put those plans together for hearings using those kind of alternative means. Some of the courts are more further along with those plans than others. So, at least as far as Harris County goes, if you currently are in a lawsuit, or if you filed a lawsuit, then your hearings have been delayed, and you have to check with each individual courts. I will maybe later on make more videos regards to each individual court in Harris County to give an idea, help you give an idea of where they're at with their plans during this stay-at-home and social distancing orders. But what if you are considering filing a case and you're afraid that you want some immediate relief? There's no reason to not file your lawsuit, because those are generally done through electronic means. Now, lawyers certainly can file through electronic means, and I don't know if they're going to be making it easier for pro se litigants to do that, but an attorney certainly can file your lawsuit for you, and certain deadlines run during that time. So that might be another good reason for you to consider getting a family law attorney at this time. And also because that family law attorney can travel around, whereas you might not be able to as a lone litigant. Another reason you can go ahead and keep filing and doing that is because they have put some blanket orders in place, so that if a new case is filed, if a new divorce case is filed, you will immediately get a temporary restraining order without having to even ask the court. This blanket order is inclusive of all divorce cases filed between March 19th and May 8th. And the order is good throughout that time period, and any new case that is filed between March 19th and May 8th will get the benefit of a temporary restraining order without a necessity for a hearing in front of a judge, and that temporary restraining order will continue until 2 weeks after May 8th, 2020. The temporary restraining order, if you don't know, is what I call a do-right rule. It will prevent parties in conflict from harassing each other, from threatening each other, from talking about the case in front of the children, and just basically what everybody should be doing. But if there's conflict or high conflict, this restraining order makes it illegal. And normally you have to plead for that, and then you have 14 days to try to get a judge to sign off on it. The judges in the current emergency situation have signed off on it. No need to even worry about it. So that is a standing order, and there's only one court that doesn't apply for that in Harris County, and that is the 280th. But every other court in Harris County doing family law, the standing order is that there is a temporary restraining order in place for all newly filed divorce cases. So that includes the 507th, the 308th, the 245th, the 309th, the 246th, the 310th, the 247th, the 311th, the 257th, the 312th, and the 280th has signed off on it, but the order doesn't apply to that court. So now let's move on quickly, because we're getting quite along on the length of this video, to Galveston County. Kind of a similar situation. In Galveston County, we have county courts and we have one district court. Now, the county courts, where a lot of family law matters occur, they haven't done the blanket temporary restraining order, at least as of the date of this video that I'm aware of. But they do say this for the three county courts that are impacted with family law. It says county court dockets and hearing are canceled. One county court judge and staff will be available at the Justice Center to handle any emergency requests or time-sensitive matters. That judge will also conduct a daily misdemeanor jail docket, but of course we're talking about family law here. Court personnel for the two courts not available at the Justice Center are still working remotely from home and processing new filings and requests for hearings. So again, there's no need to not file or assume that the courts aren't going on. It's just that they're making other provisions for in-person hearings. You may continue to communicate with court coordinator or court reporter by email regarding any court business. No jury trials for the month of April. Obviously, all jury trials in March were canceled, and now April as well. All agreed and uncontested family matters ordinarily presented by live testimony shall be presented by affidavit of testimony. The courts will review the posted signed orders and affidavits without the necessity of a live appearance in court. So if you are finalizing a divorce or suit affecting parent-child relationship or anything like that, and you have a signed agreed order, there's no longer a necessity to go to court and prove it up by giving testimony to the judge about the agreement. You can do that by submitting an affidavit. And again, if you're not sure how to do that, you can contact an attorney. And Associate Judge Baker, who handles all temporary orders and similar matters for the family docket, including discovery issues, all of his entire docket will be scheduled through April with the exception of emergency hearings and protective orders. Those hearings will be held via telephone conference, and to the extent possible, parties are asked to e-file and exchange any exhibits and witness affidavits prior to the hearing date. So all temporary order hearings will be by phone. You're going to have to schedule those. And the only immediate things that are going to be heard are, as I said, emergency hearings or protective order hearings where there is a threat to people's safety in one way or the other. So very similar in Galveston County. The courts are continuing their business. Lawyers are continuing their business. And I know that's a difficult time for everybody. And we need to help each other out. So if you need any assistance with any active case that you have going on, if you're not represented by an attorney, or if you're just not sure about things, you're welcome to give us a call here at the Palmer Law Firm. We'll help out any way that we can. I will try to give you more updated videos as we go on with individual courts and information that you may want or need in regards to your family law matter in Harris or Galveston County. Remember that we are all separated at the moment, but we're all in this together. Be safe. Try to be calm during this period of time. Things are going to progress. Things are going to happen. It may take a different time frame than you thought, or we may need to do other things like video conferencing and things like that. At our firm, we're retooling to be able to adapt to this new normal. We have access to online forms, and you can sign things now on our e-signature processes. We have video conferencing meetings, and we're advancing technology. We've always have, we're advancing technology, so we can do your family law case if you need to, even without meeting in person. And the courts are going to be gearing up to that as well. So if we can be of any help to you here at the Palmer Law Firm, please don't hesitate to give us a call and be safe, okay?